The story begins with Rentaru, a warm-hearted young man, confessing his feelings to the girl he's been in love with. She, with a shy smile, admits that she likes him too, but reveals that the idea of dating him makes her so nervous, she actually gets butterflies in her stomach. Rentaru's heart sinks with the rejection, and he walks home beside his best friend, who tries to cheer him up but can't resist cracking a joke. As they walk, the friend finds out that this was Rentaru's 100th rejection and doesn't miss the chance to tease him, asking how anyone could handle so many no's, especially considering they just graduated from middle school. Lost in thought, Rentaru recalls the first time he ever confessed his love, when he was only 8 months old, with a goofy smile and an awkward little request. He just wanted to know what it was like to have a girlfriend, to feel that warmth in his chest everyone always talked about. Still teasing, his friend asks how someone like Rentaru, good-looking, top grades, and naturally charming, manages to get rejected so many times. That only makes Rentaru more frustrated, but his friend waves goodbye, wishing him good luck in high school. Determined to change his luck, Rentaru visits a temple and offers a heartfelt prayer to the god of love, asking for a girlfriend in high school. Suddenly, a voice echoes, and a figure emerges out of nowhere, from inside the offering box. The man with shining wings and a mystical presence introduces himself as the god of the temple. He tells Rentaru that destiny has granted him not just one, but 100 soulmates in high school, a reward more generous than anyone could imagine. Rentaru is overjoyed, but with a mischievous gleam in his eyes, he swears he'll tear the temple down if this turns out to be a joke. A month later, it's the first day of high school. Rentaru walks through the hallways, nervous and excited when he bumps into two girls, Karane and Hikari. The moment their eyes meet, it's like a spark cuts through the air, leaving all three of them stunned. Rentaru wonders if they might be the soulmates the god mentioned. He quickly bends down to help them up, but Hikari, with a playful glint, pretends she twisted her ankle and, with a pleading look, asks him to carry her to the infirmary. Feeling guilty for hurting her, Rentaru melts with concern, and Hikari, noticing how kind he is, finds herself even more drawn to him. While he helps her, Karane, feeling a twinge of jealousy, fakes a twisted ankle too. Now blaming himself for injuring both of them, Rentaru starts lamenting loudly, even hitting his own head. Worried about his overreaction, the girls quickly stand up, but once they realize their mistake, they go right back to pretending they're hurt. With his heart in his hands, Rentaru escorts both girls to the infirmary, though he gets the feeling it's actually them who are leading him. On the way, Karane and Hikari start competing for his attention, pretending to lose balance and clinging to him, each one pulling him to her side. Amid laughter and teasing, Rentaru introduces himself and learns that the three of them are in the same class. As they walk, two other girls pass by, talking about a patch of pink four-leaf clovers in the courtyard, saying that anyone who confesses their love with one of those clovers is guaranteed to get a yes. Karane and Hikari exchange looks, and in an instant they sprint toward the courtyard, leaving Rentaru confused but amazed at how fast their legs healed. 3 hours after classes end, Rentaru is still at school, helping a teacher look for a lost contact lens. When he's finally ready to go home, he wonders if he'll see the girls again. As he passes through the courtyard, there's Karane, crouched on the ground, searching for the pink clover. Curious, Rentaru approaches, and a startled Karane tries to play it off like she wasn't doing anything. He notices Hikari isn't around and kindly offers Karane a drink. Shy, she hesitates to accept, and Rentaru wonders if she finds him strange since they barely know each other. But suddenly Karane snatches the drink, saying she'll finish it all so it doesn't go to waste. He suggests she should go home since it's getting late, but Karane, a bit defiant, replies that she doesn't need him telling her what to do, then thanks him with a shy smile. Rentaru realizes she's a mix of stubbornness and sweetness. Soon after, Hikari shows up, and Rentaru offers her a drink as well. With a cunning plan in mind, Hikari suggests they share it, hoping for an indirect kiss. Rentaru, already predicting something like that, brought a smaller drink for her, but Hikari insists it's still too much for her alone. He agrees, takes a sip, and passes the bottle to her. Nervous, Hikari ends up spilling it all over the ground. Thinking she's upset about the drink, Rentaru offers her his handkerchief to clean up, but instead, Hikari grabs his hand and, heart racing, confesses that she's in love with him, saying she had to tell him quickly because someone else likes him too. For the first time in his life, Rentaru feels the joy of being confessed to, his heart about to burst with happiness. Before he can answer, Karane returns, carrying a bunch of drinks to repay his kindness. When she sees Hikari confessing, she bursts out in anger, shouting that Hikari needs to get in line. Shocked, Rentaru realizes that Karane likes him too. She tries to deny it at first, but with her face burning red, she ends up confessing her feelings as well. The two girls demand that he choose between them, but confused and torn, Rentaru asks for a day to think it over. At home, he reflects on Karane and Hikari, unable to decide. He returns to the temple and confronts the god of love, who confirms that both girls are indeed his soulmates, making the choice impossible. When Rentaru asks what people are supposed to do when they have two soulmates, the god, with an enigmatic smile, replies that it's rare, since most people only have one. The god of love, looking a bit embarrassed, admits to Rentaru that he made a mistake when he was born. Distracted watching TV, he accidentally assigned Rentaru 100 soulmates instead of just one. Rentaru feels the ground vanish beneath him, realizing he might be doomed to endless chaos. But the god warns him that it's even worse. If someone can't be with their soulmate, they might die from heartbreak. The thought of one of the girls suffering that fate tightens Rentaru's chest, making the decision even harder. Suddenly, a daring idea crosses his mind. What if he rejects both of them, but secretly dates them later? The next morning, Karan and Hikari find Rentaru looking exhausted and disheveled. Taking a deep breath, he gathers his courage and reveals his decision. He wants to date both of them. Karan is left speechless, unable to believe what she just heard. Rentaru, unable to lie, confesses that he truly loves both of them and promises to do everything he can to make them the happiest girls in the world. The two hesitate, ready to refuse, when Rentaru shyly hands each of them a pink four-leaf clover. He explains that he spent the whole night searching for them in the courtyard. Karan mocks him for believing in such superstition, but Hikari, with a teasing smile, reminds her they fell for that same story. Karane crosses her arms, saying she won't share Rentaru, but he explains he only picked the clovers because he saw how hard they worked looking for them, and all he wanted was to see them smile. His sincerity disarms them both. With her heart warm, Hikari agrees to date him, thinking that even sharing him would be better than being rejected. Not wanting to fall behind, Karane grumbles but accepts too, and Hikari quickly teases her for changing her mind so fast. With shining eyes, Rentaru swears to take care of both of them with all his heart. Though deep down, he can't stop thinking about the other 98 soulmates still to come. The next day, Rentaru is glowing with happiness, thrilled to finally have girlfriends. The only problem is that at the moment, he's pouring his heart out to a streetlight, talking to himself. Karane and Hikari arrive, and Karane, frowning, asks why on earth he's talking to a pole. Red with embarrassment, Rentaru explains that he's just so happy he couldn't hold it in. Trying to play it cool, Karane says he can talk to her instead, but quickly blushes and looks away. Taking advantage of the moment, Hikari grabs Rentaru's hand, sending a warmth through him that nearly knocks him over. Jealous, Karane pouts, but Rentaru takes her hand too. She pretends she doesn't like it, but the three of them walk together, smiling on their way to school. When they arrive, they see a boy running through the halls, being chased by the vice principal. Hikari comments that the woman is known for being strict. If she sees anyone running, she sprints after them and gives them a kiss as punishment. Rentaru shivers, thinking that would be quite an emotional blow. Laughing, Hikari explains that the vice principal used to be a professional sprinter, so escaping her is nearly impossible. Curious, Hikari asks Rentaru if he's ever kissed anyone. Blushing, he admits he hasn't, since they're his first girlfriends. Karane and Hikari exchange glances, realizing that whoever moves first will get Rentaru's first kiss. During lunch break, the three spend time together, enjoying the moment. While Karane is distracted by a cat, Hikari takes the chance to offer Rentaru a rolled omelet. He likes it so much that his eyes well up with emotion, which makes Karan jealous. She reveals that she brought homemade cookies for him, but when she tries to feed him, she accidentally pokes him in the eye. Even in pain, Rentaru eats the cookie and praises it, saying it's delicious. Hikari, not wanting to fall behind, grabs a snack but notices the ends are broken. To avoid dirtying her hands, she decides to feed him with her mouth. Seeing her so close, Rentaru can't help but think how adorable she looks, his heart pounding wildly. Hikari bites the snack, little by little, inching closer to him. Karan tries to join in on the fun, but ends up poking Rentaru in the other eye. When Karan's hair gets in the way, Rentaru sneezes, breaking the snack he was sharing with Hikari. Worried about his red eyes, Karan assumes he's caught a cold and, acting on impulse, hugs him tightly, saying he'll get better if he passes the cold to her. She leans in to kiss him, but Hikari interrupts, saying they're not even sure if it's really a cold. With a sly smile, Hikari suggests checking his temperature with her lips, claiming it's a family tradition. Outraged, Karan tries to make Rentaru faint so she can give him mouth-to-mouth, but Hikari shoves her away. The two start arguing, furious at each other. Rentaru, finally realizing they're trying to kiss him, is left speechless. Karan tries to deny it, but her expression gives her away. His heart racing, he admits that he wants to kiss them too. However, Hikari says he'll have to choose who to kiss first, reigniting the competition between them. With a clever smile, Rentaru stops them and says he has a solution. He explains that he thought long and hard the night before, trying to find a way to make them both happy. For their first kiss, he proposes a plan. He'll kiss both of them in a way that no one will know who went first, giving them both an equal chance to be his first kiss. That way, he'll consider each kiss as the first, ensuring neither feels less special. Karane and Hikari, unsure how to keep the mystery of the first kiss, listen to Rentaru's plan as determination shines in his eyes. He proposes using a mask to cover his face and earplugs for the girls. Then, with a die, the girls would roll for positions, and he would kiss them without knowing who's who. Afterward, he'd return to his starting point, and they'd switch places again, making sure no one, even him, would know who the first kiss belonged to. Hikari thinks it's a brilliant idea, but Karane, suspicious, worries he might cheat. With a sincere smile, Rentaru suggests a pinky promise, swearing that if he breaks it, they can stab a needle in my eye. Karan finds it a little silly, but both girls end up agreeing, convinced by his honesty. As they try to put the plan into action, a gust of wind lifts Karan's skirt, and out of nowhere, a cat starts clawing at her. Thinking it's Rentaru doing something, she kicks him in anger and starts hitting him. Only when her earplugs fall out does she realize it was the cat. Embarrassed, she decides to try again. But every time they attempt it, something goes wrong. Someone trips, the die goes missing, and the kiss never happens. Frustrated, Karane points at Rentaru, saying the plan was flawed. Irritated, Hikari snaps back, and the two start arguing again, fighting over who Rentaru belongs to. Feeling heavy-hearted, he steps in and takes all the blame, saying it's his inexperience that caused the problem. Desperate, he runs off shouting for the vice principal. She appears in a flash, ready to punish him for running in the halls. With a terrifying glare, she lunges at him, freezing Rentaru in fear. But Karan quickly blocks her, while Hikari makes up a story that she saw a school inspector nearby. Panicked, the vice principal retreats immediately. Confused, the girls ask why Rentaru acted so recklessly. With a trembling voice, he confesses that he loves them so much he'd rather ruin his first kiss than watch them fight. His words move both Karane and Hikari, who, touched, say he can kiss the other first. They don't want him to lose such a special moment. Surprised by their kindness, Rentaru realizes just how deeply they care for him. Acting on impulse, he pulls them into a tight embrace and, with a spark of inspiration, suggests something bold, a three-way kiss. At first, he thinks they'll never agree, but seeing how close they've become, he believes it might just work. Karane and Hikari blush furiously at the thought of kissing each other, but after a moment's hesitation, they agree. And at last, the three share their first kiss, a moment filled with emotion and connection. The next day, in the library, Hikari flips through cookbooks, eager to learn new recipes to surprise Rentaru. Not wanting to lose out, Karane fights her over a book titled Winning a Man Through His Stomach. In a gentle tone, Rentaru asks them to get along, reminding them of the kiss they shared. Both of them blush intensely, their faces burning red. While looking for another book, Rentaru bumps into a girl whose gaze makes his heart race with a sudden electric jolt. He wonders if she's another soulmate. The girl, who turns out to be the librarian, doesn't speak but instead points to sentences in a book to communicate. At first, Rentaru finds it confusing, thinking it's just part of the library's quiet rule. She gestures to ask what he's looking for, and he mimes that he wants something funny. Curious, she gestures back, asking why he doesn't talk, and he returns the question. Embarrassed, she offers to call someone else, but Rentaru insists he wants her help, asking for recommendations of romances with happy endings. Excited, the girl starts stacking books, creating a small mountain. Rentaru is amazed by the number, and she shyly apologizes, saying he can pick just a few. But with a warm smile, he says he'll take them all since she picked them so carefully. When he goes to check them out, he learns his library card isn't ready yet, so he can't borrow them. The girl, with a gentle gesture, offers him one of her own personal books. Rentaru accepts it happily and asks for her name. She shows him her ID card. It says Shizuka. That night, Rentaru dives into the book, a story about a princess and her knight. The knight swears his loyalty, protecting her even from a dragon. They fall in love, but the princess is promised to another prince. The knight races to change their fate, and Rentaru cheers them on, hoping with all his heart they'll end up together. But the book ends on a cliffhanger, leaving him anxious for more. The next day, he thanks Shizuka for the book and discovers she's brought the second volume. He accepts it eagerly but feels he needs to repay her somehow. He buys her a drink, and the two sit outside the library, chatting about the story. Shizuka tells him it's her favorite book, and Rentaru is impressed by how well she knows it. She even uses lines from the novel to express herself. With a shy smile, she admits she's glad he doesn't think she's weird since she's never had a real friend before. Hearing that, Rentaru gets an idea and asks to borrow the first volume again. The next day, Shizuka arrives at the library with the third volume for Rentaru, but he doesn't show up, not that day, nor the next few. As she walks through the school, she spots him from afar with Hikari and Karan. The girls notice the dark circles under his eyes and how he keeps yawning. With a tired smile, he explains that he's been busy at night. Curious, Hikari and Karane exchange glances, wondering what he's been up to. Suddenly, Hikari leans in and gives him a quick kiss, saying she's sharing her energy. Rentaru melts, hugs her, and calls her my angel. Not wanting to be left out, Karani says she's got plenty of energy to give too, but when she tries to kiss him, she accidentally headbutts him instead. Watching from afar, Shizuka realizes Rentaru already has girlfriends and assumes he's too busy to read. Her heart tightens as she remembers how other girls used to think she was strange for speaking in quotes from books. Even her mother once pleaded with her to talk normally. Shizuka thinks no one has time for someone like her. But to her surprise, Rentaru shows up at the library with a warm smile, saying he can finally repay her for the books she lent him. He invites her to install an app on her phone and reveals that he typed out the entire book himself, creating a digital version since no ebook existed. He explains that when she uses the physical book to talk, she always has to look at the pages, which prevents them from making eye contact. With the app, she can select phrases and have them read aloud, allowing them to look each other in the eyes as they talk. He hopes it'll make communication easier for her. Moved to tears, Shizuka tests the app and, on impulse, blurts out that she loves him, but quickly corrects herself, telling him not to worry. Rentaru, with an open heart, confesses that he loves her too. Shizuka, however, fears that fate will separate them, but Rentaru, with determination, promises that they'll overcome any obstacle, even fate itself. He takes Shizuka to meet Hikari and Karani, introducing her as his newest girlfriend. Karani thinks he's lost his mind, but Hikari, with a gentle smile, thanks him for staying with them even after meeting someone new. Rentaru, with a peculiar metaphor, compares the girls to oil fields. Hikari and Karani are one rich field, and Shizuka is a new one, not interfering with the others. He promises to love them even more and prove it through his actions, joking that if he fails, he'll perform seppuku with a special knife he already ordered from Amazon. After some hesitation, Karan agrees, and Rentaru's group of girlfriends grows a little larger. 97 soulmates still remain. Rentaru begins talking about Shizuka, enchanted by the way she wiggles her toes like a wagging puppy tail while she reads, revealing her emotions. He also mentions that Hikari bites her fingers when she's thinking, something he finds absolutely irresistible, and that Karan, when trying to hide a compliment, twirls her hair around her fingers, which he finds adorable. The girls are surprised that he's noticed such tiny details, realizing just how much he pays attention to them. But when Rentaru starts describing how Hikari and Karani behave while kissing him, Shizuka completely loses her composure, shocked to discover he's already kissed them. Curious, Hikari asks if she wants to kiss him too, but Shizuka shyly admits she's saving her first kiss for marriage. Respectfully, Rentaru tells her that's perfectly fine and that he'll only kiss her when she's ready. Hikari and Karain watch, waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. During lunch, both girls try to feed Rentaru, but Karain gets annoyed when Hikari won't let her have a turn. They start stuffing his mouth with food, while Shizuka, quietly eating, observes their squabble with a faint smile. Rentaru notices that Shizuka's unusually quiet and thinks she just needs time to get used to them. He reflects on how people often hide who they really are out of fear of others' reactions, but when true feelings come out, that fear disappears. To break the ice, he suggests a card game. Whoever loses gets tickled by the winner. He believes laughter is the best way to open up and bring people closer. Hikari and Karani, imagining Rentaru touching them, decide to lose on purpose. In the first round, Rentaru wins, and Karan, the loser, secretly looks pleased with the result. With a mischievous grin, Rentaru begins tickling Karani, who tries to hold it in, but soon ends up rolling on the floor laughing uncontrollably. He suddenly stops, realizing she might be enjoying it a little too much. In the second round, Rentaru wins again, and this time Hikari loses. She cheers, excited by the idea of being touched by him. When he starts tickling her, Hikari bursts into laughter, enjoying every second, but soon starts acting strange, begging him to stop, saying she's too sensitive. Only later do they learn the real reason. She was about to lose control from laughing so hard. In the third round, Rentaru wins once more, and Shizuka is the loser. He's eager to hear her laugh, but when he starts tickling her, Shizuka stays silent, using her device to say that she's laughing. Rentaru finds it adorable and keeps going, while Karan and Hikari watch, realizing he still hasn't lost once. Determined to change that, the two girls are now desperate to tickle him back. In the fourth round, Shizuka surprises everyone and wins, making Rentaru the loser. She approaches timidly, but instead of tickling him, she just pokes him lightly. He laughs, and Hikari, puzzled, wonders why she didn't take the chance to go for it. Hikari reflects that Shizuka's natural shyness is the exact opposite of her own confident act, which she sometimes exaggerates just to get Rentaru's attention. She starts to see Shizuka as an even bigger threat than Karani. Her charm feels completely genuine. After the game, while Rentaru heads to the bathroom, Karani confronts Shizuka, noticing how she keeps her distance from him. Shizuka explains softly through her app that, as the newcomer, she doesn't want to intrude. Blunt as ever, Karan tells her she's Rentaru's girlfriend and shouldn't hold back, finding her attitude a bit irritating. Shizuka immediately apologizes, which only frustrates Karane more, who asks why she never fights back. That's when Shizuka opens up. She admits she's scared because she finds Hikari incredibly charming and Karane confident and beautiful, while she feels plain and worries that Rentaru might compare her to them. The two can't help but find her adorable, and Hikari gently reassures her, saying Rentaru sees her own unique beauty as his girlfriend. Watching from afar, Rentaru smiles, happy with how things turned out. During Shizuka's gentle poking earlier, he'd noticed Karane staring at her intensely. He thought she wanted to pick a fight, but decided to give them space to express themselves. Proud of how they handled it, he returns to the group. Playfully, Karane says Shizuka should tickle him again since she was holding back. Hikari joins in, encouraging her too, and Shizuka, feeling their support, decides to return the kindness. She steps closer to Rentaru and, through her app, says she wants to kiss him. They share a kiss, and Shizuka blushes deeply, her face bright red. Not wanting to be left out, Hikari asks for a kiss too, though secretly wondering if she's good enough compared to Shizuka. With a gentle look, Rentaru assures her he loves all his girlfriends equally and kisses her, leaving her glowing with happiness. He then asks Karane if she wants a kiss as well. She pretends not to care, but edges closer to him. Rentaru laughs, saying she looks cute when she's shy. Annoyed, Karan gives him a few light punches, but soon admits she wants the kiss. He kisses her, and as Rentaru looks at the three of them, he thinks about how incredible his girlfriends are, feeling like he doesn't deserve them. They smile, saying they feel the same way about him. The next day, Rentaru walks into class and meets a girl named Nano. He mentions that the exam results are out and asks if she's going to check them, but Nano, with a cold tone, says it's pointless since she already knows she got first place. When their eyes meet, a jolt of electricity runs through Rentaru, and he suspects she might be another soulmate. He goes with his girlfriends to see the results and finds that all of them did well. Looking at the top of the rankings, he's shocked to see Nano's perfect score. Curious, he asks about her, and the girls tell him Nano's a total super nerd, capable of answering any question. Some even joke she might not be human. During biology class, Rentaru is paired with Nano and immediately notices she's nothing like his other girlfriends. Her elegance feels almost unearthly, as if she floats above everyone else. During the biology lesson, Rentaru notices Nano copying answers straight from the textbook without ever touching the microscope. In a dry tone, she explains that practical exams are a waste of time since scientists already know the answers. He warns her that the teacher is watching, so she reluctantly uses the microscope. But instead of examining the sample, she points it at the book, claiming it's more efficient. Rentaru realizes she acts like a robot, driven purely by logic. As he tries to cut the sample, he accidentally slices his finger. Standing to go wash the cut, he's about to head to the infirmary when Nano stops him, saying it's unnecessary, and to his shock, she puts his finger in her mouth. Rentaru panics, and Karane, who's nearby, looks visibly furious. Calmly, Nano explains that saliva is a natural disinfectant. Dazed, Rentaru wonders if he's dreaming. After class, he thanks Nano for helping him, but she coldly replies that she only kept him there because she needed someone to help clean up. Curious, Rentaru tries to get to know her better, inviting her out, but she refuses, saying it's a pointless activity with no value for her future. He insists that having fun is what gives life meaning, but Nano calls him delusional, saying he's wasting her time. Rentaru starts doubting whether she's really his soulmate. That night, alone in her room, Nano finds herself thinking about him, confused about why she helped him. She realizes she feels something for him but sees it as a distraction. To regain focus, she starts writing out the exact digits of pi, believing it's the most efficient way to clear her mind. But even after filling the board and several sheets of paper, she can't. Frustrated, she admits she's wasting time, something she considers unacceptable. The next day, Nano finds Rentaru and, with a serious expression, confesses that she's in love with him and wants him to be her boyfriend. Overjoyed, he says he wants to go out with her too, but to his surprise, she rejects him. Confused, Rentaru feels deceived. Nano explains that she wants to get rid of these feelings because relationships only lead to marriage and children, things she sees as useless for teenagers. She declares that she'll never date him, but Rentaru, heart in hand, insists that he loves her and refuses to give up, begging for a chance to win her over. Days later, they go to an amusement park, with Rentaru determined to show her that love has meaning. Nano, however, finds it all pointless, questioning why they're even there. She notices he's carrying an instant camera and criticizes it for not storing data, calling it a defective device. Rentaru asks her to say cheese, but confused, she asks what that means. He snaps the photo anyway. In the haunted house, Nano says she doesn't believe in ghosts and remains calm while the actors try to scare them, calling them mere humans. She's puzzled by Rentaru's fear and suggests they rename the place the Human House. On the spinning teacups ride, she questions the sanity of whoever invented it, finding it absurd that people willingly line up to spin until they're dizzy, joking that it must be brainwashing. In the maze, they hit several dead ends, and Nano complains that the designers made things unnecessarily complicated when a straight path would have been more efficient. But on the Ferris wheel, her voice trembles as she admits she's afraid of heights. Rentaru sits beside her, holding her hand firmly. Together, they look at the photos he took, and Nano hesitantly admits she had fun, though she still insists the day was meaningless. Then Rentaru suggests burning the photos, saying they should erase the day from memory. Just as he's about to light the match, Nano stops him, reminding him that the camera doesn't keep copies and they'd lose everything. She grabs the photos, and Rentaru, with a gentle smile, says she was afraid of losing them because the day did have meaning. Nano, with tears in her eyes, begins to cry, and Rentaru gently explains that enjoying happy moments is what gives life meaning. She takes his handkerchief to wipe her tears, promising to disinfect it before giving it back. Laughing, Rentaru asks if she's going to use saliva again, but Nano, serious as ever, replies that she'll wash it properly. Then, she confesses that she wants him to be her boyfriend because she wants to experience more meaningful moments with him. Rentaru, his heart full, tells her he loves her too, and Nano, resolute, kisses him, declaring that she'll fulfill his wishes no matter what. Rentaru introduces Nano to Karane, Hikari, and Shizuka, who, to his surprise, don't object. He thanks them for accepting another girlfriend and promises, with his usual dramatic flair, that he'll commit seppuku if he ever treats them poorly. Nano, in her logical tone, suggests that poison would be more efficient, making everyone laugh. Hikari, pouting, complains that Rentaru went to the amusement park without her, feeling a sting of jealousy. With a sparkle in her eyes, Hikari suggests they all go to a water park, dreaming of a perfect beach episode. Karane rummages through her closet looking for a bikini but hesitates over her options. A colorful, delicate one catches her eye. She thinks it's cute but worries it won't suit her. Still, imagining Rentaru might like it, she decides to buy it. At the water park, Rentaru sees the girls in their swimsuits and feels his heart race, thinking he could die happy right then and there. But Karan shows up in a strange-looking dress and he panics, thinking she didn't bring a swimsuit. She explains awkwardly that she's cold and would rather stay by the pool while they have fun. Nano, ever pragmatic, points to a sunny spot where Karane could warm up. Karane thanks her, but Nano bluntly says she wasn't worried about her, which annoys Karan, who snaps at her to leave. In the lazy river, Shizuka spins out of control in her float, typing on her app that she can't get her bearings. Nano, serious, declares that the place must be for survival training and starts swimming against the current. Rentaru stops her while Hikari clings to him, shouting that the water is carrying her away. She presses her body against his and Nano tries to do the same, but the overwhelming attention makes Rentaru faint. Nano notes that he's not breathing, and Hikari, with a mischievous grin, performs mouth-to-mouth, savoring every second. Nano shoves her away to help him herself, but Hikari insists it's not working, claiming he's going to die. Meanwhile, Shizuka is swept away by the current, unable to control her float. It bursts, leaving her stranded on a small island in the middle of the pool. Desperate, she calls for help, but no one notices. Nano suggests finding a lifeguard, and she and Hikari run along the poolside. A group of men approaches them, one complimenting Hikari's body and trying to touch her. Nano stops him by jabbing him in the eyes, saying it's the most efficient way to deal with a pervert. The man's friends get angry and try to intimidate Nano, who offers to distract them while Hikari gets help, knowing Rentaru would be sad if anything happened to her. Hikari refuses, saying Rentaru cares about Nano too. One of the men lunges at Hikari, but Rentaru, now recovered, appears and declares that Nano and Hikari are his girlfriends. The man, skeptical, challenges him to prove it by kissing them. Nano kisses him first, followed by Hikari, who seals the truth. The men, stunned, call Rentaru a gigachad and back off. Hikari wonders how Rentaru recovered so quickly. Karan explains that she saw what happened and, thinking he was dead, shouted that Hikari and Nano were in danger, which snapped him awake and sent him running to save them. Rentaru thanks Nano for protecting Hikari, but tells her not to risk herself like that again. Surprised, Nano realizes he cares about her too. Suddenly, Rentaru remembers that Shizuka is still in the pool and panics. She can't swim. He rushes to find her as she tries to get his attention, but he doesn't see her. With her phone battery nearly dead, Shizuka hesitates to use her real voice, afraid of being judged, but she has no choice. Letting out a sharp cry, she finally catches his attention. Rentaru dives in and rescues her, carrying her in his arms. Overwhelmed, Shizuka kisses him, and he blushes, reminding her they're in public. Back with the group, Rentaru says he needs a break and asks Karane to join him. As they rest, he notices her staring at Hikari and Nano, as if comparing herself to them. Suspecting she feels insecure about her swimsuit, he reassures her that she and Shizuka are just as amazing. Karani counters that Shizuka is different, small and cute. In a sudden gesture, Rentaru tugs at her dress, revealing the colorful bikini she'd chosen so carefully. Blushing furiously, Karani calls him a pervert, but Rentaru, eyes shining, tells her she looks incredible. He pulls her into a tight hug, and Karani feels his racing heartbeat as he whispers that she's one of a kind. She couldn't possibly be more beautiful than she already is. His words hit her deeply, and, touched, Karan decides to let go of her insecurities and joins the others in the pool. The group spends the rest of the day laughing, splashing, and cherishing every moment together. Back at school, while passing by the chemistry lab, Rentaru spots a girl. Their eyes meet, and an electric spark runs through him, confirming she's another soulmate. The next day, he returns to the lab, eager to see her again. As he walks in, he's greeted by a peculiar girl who introduces herself as Kusuri from the chemistry club. She offers him tea served in a beaker, leaving him confused. Kusuri says she's just brewed a new potion, but Rentaru clarifies he's not joining the club, he's just looking for someone. She insists he drink the tea and wait. Curious, Rentaru takes a sip, and Kusuri, with a mischievous grin, reveals her latest invention, a human magnet potion. She explains that after drinking it, his body will attract metal objects. Before he can refuse, she makes him swallow it. Suddenly, metal objects start sticking to Rentaru, and he's amazed, but Kusuri warns there's a side effect. He'll be constipated for 3 days. To test the potion, Kusuri drinks a version with the opposite polarity, and their bodies are instantly drawn together by magnetism. She explains that opposites attract, but quickly realizes the pull is too strong, leaving them stuck together. Calmly, she notes the effect lasts only 10 minutes. Then, she casually admits she needs to pee, sending Rentaru into a panic. But Kusuri, composed, reveals she's wearing a diaper. She relieves herself, and the magnetism finally fades. Excited, Kusuri tells him she loves creating potions and has already invented many. Rentaru feels something stir inside him, realizing he's falling for her. With a sly look, Kusuri confesses she slipped a love potion into the tea he drank, admitting she fell for him at first sight. Rentaru feels sick and throws up, saying he wants to get rid of the potion. Kusuri, confused, thinks he hates her because the potion didn't work. Tears well up in her eyes as she asks if she's not his type, but Rentaru explains that he just doesn't want his feelings manipulated by a potion. He starts trembling as his body rejects the brew, and Kusuri, worried, gives him an antidote. When his convulsions worsen, she decides to administer it mouth to mouth. Rentaru recovers, but Kusuri, disheartened, assumes his love disappeared along with the potion. Smiling gently, he assures her he still likes her, making her blush. Nearly begging, Kusuri asks to be his girlfriend, saying she'd do anything for him. Suddenly, her hair begins to grow and her body transforms, revealing that she's the same girl Rentaru had seen in the lab earlier. She explains that taking the antidote alongside him reversed one of her previous potions, turning her back into a child. It's a side effect of a failed immortality experiment. Kusuri explains that she's actually the president of the chemistry club, but prefers working as a child because of her poor eyesight and the hassle of her long hair in adult form, which she can only maintain for an hour. Still surprised she's his soulmate, Rentaru agrees to date her. Rentaru introduces Kusuri to Karani, Hikari, Shizuka, and Nano. None of the girls object, but Karani, skeptical, asks if Kusuri's okay since she seems obsessed with potions. Rentaru explains that Kusuri's actually older but appears small due to one of her concoctions. Thinking she might be addicted, Karani grows concerned. Excited, Kusuri offers Karan a bust enhancement potion. Furious, Karan snaps, and Kusuri, trying to fix things, suggests other potions to improve her. Even angrier, Karan demands to know why she keeps insisting, and Kusuri reveals that Rentaru mentioned Karan's insecurities, prompting Karani to punish him with playful punches. Laughing, Kusuri points out how much Rentaru loves her, and Karani, embarrassed, apologizes right away. Kusuri offers Hikari a heat potion, saying it will make her more attractive. Thinking it'll enhance her charm, Hikari drinks it, but soon starts sweating profusely as her clothes melt away. With a giggle, Kusuri explains, "Nothing's hotter than your birthday suit." Rentaru quickly gives Hikari his shirt. Sniffing it, Hikari worries it'll melt too, but Kusuri assures her the effect is unique and the shirt is safe. For Shizuka, Kusuri offers a fantasy potion that gives her bunny ears. Rentaru finds it adorable and strokes them, making Shizuka beam. Finally, Kusuri gives Nano a hair control potion, allowing her to use her hair like extra arms. Nano, efficient as always, uses her hair to pull Rentaru toward her and kisses him, saying she likes the potion because it boosts her efficiency. With a clever glint in her eyes, Kusuri explains that the hair control potion only lasts 10 minutes, but she can extend the effect by drinking more doses, though that increases the risk of going bald. She shrugs, saying it's a small price to pay, and half-jokingly asks Rentaru if he'd still love her even if she lost all her hair. With a warm smile, he replies that he'd love her even if she turned into an alien, though he admits he's quite fond of her hair. Flattered, Kusuri decides not to take more of the potion. Excitedly, she begins talking about her dream of joining a research team to create even more amazing potions, but suddenly interrupts herself, realizing she needs to pee. Casually, she mentions her diapers, but Rentaru, in a firm tone, insists she use the bathroom instead. As they prepare tea, Kusuri warns that the girls' drinks are different from Rentaru's, but before she can explain, she dashes desperately to the restroom. At the table, the group sees two beakers, one small, which they assume is Rentaru's, and one large. While they eat together, Kusuri returns in a panic, shouting for the girls to spit out the tea, revealing that the larger beaker contained a potion meant to make Rentaru kiss her. Smiling kindly, he says he'd kiss her even without a potion. Blushing furiously, Kusuri leans in for a kiss, but Karane reacts quickly, grabbing her and tossing her aside. Suddenly, the girls begin acting like zombies, their eyes glassy and unfocused. Horrified, Kusuri realizes her mistake and screams for Rentaru to run. The potion, designed for men, amplifies women's natural desire to kiss, turning them into kiss zombies with superhuman strength. She warns that if they don't take an antidote within an hour, their personalities will be erased forever. Rentaru, oddly calm, says being kissed for eternity doesn't sound that bad, but Kusuri insists the situation is serious. The two run off, with Kusuri suggesting they head to the chemistry lab for an antidote. Along the way, the zombies block their path, and Kusuri frantically searches for something to stop them. She finds a potion that melts faces, but Rentaru, horrified, begs her not to use it. They try circling around, but the vice principal suddenly appears, startling Kusuri. In panic, she throws the potion at her, but the woman's makeup acts as armor. With a dramatic gasp, the vice principal mutters that her true form must never be revealed before crawling away. The zombies, now more strategic, split up to corner Rentaru. Realizing he's the main target, he tells Kusuri to run to the lab while he distracts them. Shizuka, running after him, trips and hits her head. Worried, Rentaru carries her to the infirmary to treat her wound, but quickly realizes she's still a zombie. Shizuka pins him down, kissing him non-stop. He blames himself for letting his guard down, but remembering her personality is at risk, gently pushes her away, promising to save her. As he flees, Karane launches Hikari at him like a projectile, knocking him to the ground. The two pin him down and start kissing him relentlessly. Trapped, Rentaru notices they're still bickering with each other, proof their personalities aren't completely gone. With a daring idea, he makes them kiss each other instead, and in the heat of their chaotic squabble, they get distracted. Rentaru grins, thinking they're fighting lovers by nature, but remembers he still needs the antidote. He runs to the lab, only to find Nano inside and hides in a cabinet. To his surprise, Kusuri is already there, explaining that Nano spotted her before she could get in. They realize that Nano, with her sharp intellect, anticipated their plan. Kusuri suggests Rentaru act as bait, but he hesitates, knowing Nano wouldn't fall for something so obvious. Tears welling in her eyes, Kusuri blames herself for the chaos, confessing that her experiments always cause trouble. That's why she's the only member of the chemistry club. She says she'll quit making potions, but suddenly notices she still has one last dose of neutralizer. Rentaru suggests using it on Nano, but in a panicked impulse, Kusuri begins to drink it herself. He shouts for her to stop, startling her into dropping the antidote on the floor. Rentaru, heart pounding, points to the spilled neutralizer on the cabinet floor and tells Kusuri they should have used it on Nano. Kusuri, now in her adult form after drinking a small sip of the antidote, agrees but warns that the transformation is temporary, since she didn't take enough. She plans to sneak into the lab while Nano doesn't recognize her, using her adult appearance to go unnoticed. However, Nano, ever perceptive, senses something suspicious and, before Kusuri can act, ties her up with a rope she found in the lab. Rentaru panics, thinking they won't be able to save the girls turned into kiss zombies, but his eyes fall on the puddle of neutralizer on the floor. An idea flashes in his mind, and he decides to act fast. Rentaru dashes out, drawing Nano away from the lab. He hides in a nearby room and locks the door, but Nano, with the superhuman strength the potion granted her, smashes it open with a single hit. She lunges at him, eyes glazed, kissing him over and over without pause. Pinned against the wall, Rentaru feels the weight of the situation and thinks this might be the end. He accepts his fate, but suddenly, Kusuri appears, now back in her child form, holding a small vial. She throws the liquid at Nano, who instantly collapses. Panting, Kusuri explains that it was a sedative potion and that Nano will return to normal once she wakes up. Rentaru reveals that his plan was to lure Nano away to buy Kusuri time, knowing that when she shrank, she'd slip free of the ropes that would loosen around her smaller body. Together, they rush back to the lab, find the stock of neutralizer, and administer it to the others, Hikari, Karane, and Shizuka. In the infirmary, the girls wake up groggy and confused. Hikari, blushing, murmurs that she vaguely remembers kissing Karan, while Karane crosses her arms and averts her eyes, insisting she doesn't remember anything. Watching the scene, Rentaru smiles faintly, knowing they're just pretending to avoid embarrassment. Relieved that despite the chaos they're still teasing each other as always, he knows their personalities are intact. Kusuri, head lowered, apologizes tearfully for causing the incident. With gentle warmth, Rentaru holds her hands and tells her she was the one who saved everyone. He promises to stand by her through any problems her potions might cause, encouraging her not to give up on her research. "I love you because of that passion of yours," he says, making Kusuri blush and promise, with a shy smile, to keep experimenting, but more carefully this time. Days later, the group decides to unwind at a flower park, where they hear an announcement for a bouquet toss contest. The winning couple will get a photo session dressed as bride and groom, making Hikari's eyes sparkle. She's always dreamed of wearing a wedding dress. All the girls get excited, eager for a chance to shine by Rentaru's side. Concerned about Shizuka's small stature and the crowd's chaos, Rentaru suggests she sit this one out to avoid being crushed. Determined, Kusuri drinks a potion to return to her adult form, ready to compete. Rentaru notices a tough-looking gang called the Gorilla Crew, carrying a flag to stand out. Inspired, he crafts a makeshift flag for their team, proudly naming them the Rentaru family. The announcer explains the rules. Physical attacks against other participants are forbidden. Then the special guest is revealed, the vice principal, wearing an evil grin. With theatrical flair, she declares that she'll throw the bouquet so high it leaves the atmosphere, ensuring no one else finds happiness. The event begins, and she launches the bouquet with astonishing force, sending it soaring skyward. Staring up, Rentaru murmurs that it's still rising and will take forever to come down. Meanwhile, the Gorilla Crew ignores the rules, shoving and tripping competitors under the guise of training exercises. Their leader, smirking, insists it doesn't count as violence, and the announcer strangely accepts it. She starts hurling her own gang members at others like human projectiles. Hikari nearly gets hit, but Karane, quick on her feet, shields her and confronts the gang leader. "I'll handle her! You guys go for the bouquet," she shouts, locking into a fierce grapple. As the bouquet finally begins to fall, the Gorilla Crew waves their flags in unison, creating a whirlwind that alters its path toward them. It seems victory is theirs, until Shizuka suddenly appears in midair, accidentally lifted by the wind from the waving flags near her. With an agile motion, she grabs the bouquet tightly, but she starts falling, and the group panics. The girls, Hikari, Karane, Nano, and Kusuri, rush to catch her, forming a human cushion. Rentaru fears they'll hurt themselves on impact, but they use their bodies to soften her landing, Shizuka bouncing gently atop them. With a quick leap, Rentaru catches her before she hits the ground, ensuring her safety. The Rentaru family is declared the winner, and the crowd bursts into applause, amazed. With their victory secured, the group gathers to draw lots to decide who will take part in the wedding photo shoot. Hikari, with a secret plan in mind, marks the winning stick with a small cut, but decides not to grab it right away so as not to arouse suspicion. She watches Nano closely, knowing her obsession with efficiency, and bets that she'll choose the stick closest to her, making Hikari's plan foolproof. Crossing her fingers, Hikari feels confident that her clever scheme will earn her the wedding dress moment by Rentaru's side. The group enters a narrow corridor, and the cat that had been following them accidentally triggers an alarm by crossing invisible sensors. The blaring sound echoes as guards rush toward them. Quickly, they hide in a dark corner while the guards find the cat and conclude it was the culprit before carrying it away. Nano, analyzing the situation with her sharp logic, says they won't make it through the corridor without infrared goggles to detect the sensors. Kusuri, eyes gleaming, reveals she brought infrared vision eye drops. Rentaru volunteers to use them, and Kusuri explains that while under their effect, he'll only be able to see the sensors, blinded to everything else. As Karane crouches down to help, she drops an envelope that Nano picks up, noticing it's addressed to an international research team. She deduces that Kusuri was planning to submit the eye drops as part of her application. Blushing, Kusuri says saving Hikari is more important than any research position. Rentaru applies the drops, and his eyes change, revealing a web of complex laser sensors crisscrossing the corridor. He murmurs that it's impossible to pass, they're everywhere. But then he spots a small opening near the ceiling, though the corridor is too wide for one person to climb alone. Nano suggests two people work together but notes that since they're all girls, none of them have Rentaru's upper body strength. She then points to Karan, noting her exceptional athletic power. Nano ties Rentaru and Karan together with a rope, instructing them to move in sync to scale the walls and avoid the sensors. They begin climbing, Rentaru bracing his feet against the walls while Karan uses her strength to push them upward. During the climb, Rentaru warns that Karan's clothes are getting slippery, but then realizes his head is pressed against her stomach, causing a flustered reaction. Blushing, Karan tries to ignore it, and together they finally reach the top, safely making it to the other side of the corridor. Rentaru tells the others to wait outside while he continues with Karane. They find the room where Hikari is being held and open the door, seeing her staring at a photo of the group, smiling wistfully. But as the door opens, another alarm sounds, and Rentaru realizes his mistake. In an instant, guards swarm them and escort them to Hana, Hikari's mother. With a stern look, Hana says she won't punish them for being Hikari's friends, but her expression hardens as she faces Rentaru. He earnestly promises that he'll make Hikari happy, but Hana, skeptical, reveals her story. At 13, she fell in love with a man who was dying. Desperate to preserve a part of him, she chose artificial insemination to have his child before he passed away. She admits it was an impulsive act and believes Hikari inherited that same recklessness in love. After her beloved's death, Hana raised Hikari alone, grateful for her daughter but knowing no one could ever replace the man she lost. She fears Hikari will suffer the same fate and insists Rentaru must stay away, convinced he can't bring her happiness. Hana's words bring Rentaru to tears, and he swears he'll never let Hikari go through such pain. Just then, the effect of the eye drops wears off and he finally sees Hana clearly. Their eyes meet and an electric spark runs between them, revealing that Hana is one of his soulmates. Everyone is stunned when Hana, eyes suddenly sparkling, asks Rentaru to date her. Shocked, Karane reminds her that she's Hikari's mother. Laughing, Hana says she's joking but reiterates that she'll never allow him to date Hikari. Standing firm, Rentaru declares he won't give up. He'll make Hikari happy no matter what. Disbelieving, Hana brings out a lie detector, saying it will expose his unfaithfulness. He hesitates, unsure of the machine's reliability, so Hana suggests testing it on Karan first. Hana asks Karan about her bra size, and hesitantly, Karan says she's almost a C cup. The detector beeps, lie detected. Embarrassed, Karan admits she's a B cup, but it beeps again. Furious, she shouts that she's an A cup, and the detector finally confirms the truth, leaving her mortified. Hana then asks if Karani loves Rentaru. She answers yes, but the detector signals another lie. Rentaru's heart sinks, feeling like he's in a nightmare. Desperate, Karani insists she truly loves him, but the machine keeps denying it. Finally, she screams that she loves him more than anything, and this time, the detector confirms it. Relieved, Rentaru's spirits lift instantly. He tests the device himself, declaring his love for Karan, and it confirms the truth. Convinced he trusts the machine, Hana asks about his feelings for Hikari. With conviction, Rentaru declares he'll make Hikari happy, even if it costs him his life. The detector confirms it, but Hana, stunned, refuses to accept the result, unable to believe he can be faithful while dating 5 girlfriends. At that moment, Amade, a mysterious figure, bursts into the room out of breath, warning that Hikari is in danger, about to do something drastic atop a building. Karan's eyes blaze as she grabs Hana firmly, her tone deadly serious, and Rentaru realizes she isn't bluffing. Karani tells him urgently to save Hikari, promising to hold Hana back until he returns. He bolts off, heart pounding, as Hana struggles to break free, but Karani restrains her, saying it's for Hikari's own good. Meanwhile, Hikari stands on the rooftop gazing down with tear-filled eyes. Rentaru arrives just in time, shouting for her to run away with him. She hesitates, saying that if they escape, they'll have to live on the run and she doesn't want him to suffer because of her. Hikari murmurs that she doesn't want to see him unhappy, but Rentaru, eyes brimming with tears, says he could never be happy without her, that he loves her deeply and wants her by his side. Touched, Hikari confesses she feels the same, but as she steps forward, she slips and begins to fall. Rentaru dives after her, catching her hand at the last second. Hanging precariously from the ledge, Hikari begs him to let her go to save himself, but he refuses, gripping her tightly. Losing his balance, he kicks off the wall, redirecting their fall into a fountain below. They hit the water with a loud splash, soaked but alive. The girls rush over, relieved, though Shizuka, clumsy as ever, starts flailing in the shallow fountain, nearly drowning herself. Quick thinking, Kusuri pulls her out, frowning and scolding her for being careless. Watching everything unfold, Hana sees Rentaru's selflessness and realizes he truly meant what he said. He's a man willing to risk everything for Hikari. With a heavy sigh, she admits he genuinely loves her daughter and asks him to take good care of her. Overwhelmed, Rentaru understands that Hana's strictness came from love. He promises to make Hikari happy, but looking at Hana, adds that he wants her to be happy too. To everyone's shock, he accepts Hana as his girlfriend, acknowledging their soulmate bond. The girls gasp in disbelief. Hikari's mother has fallen for him. Laughing, Hana admits she can't help it. Rentaru is just too irresistibly charming. Later, the girls bathe together, laughing and comparing their figures, while Karane, feeling insecure, quietly slips away. In the bedroom, she finds Rentaru, who accidentally notices her exposed stomach. Blushing, Karan remembers the awkward moment in the corridor when his head had pressed against her belly. Accusing him of doing it on purpose, she pouts, but Rentaru, smiling sheepishly, explains he was only trying to keep her from falling, worried for her safety. Still flustered, Karani decides to get revenge and playfully presses her head against his stomach, savoring the moment. Kusuri suddenly walks in and the two awkwardly pretend they're doing push-ups, laughing at the situation. Excited, Hana invites everyone to a pajama party, and Hikari warns them that her mother loves dressing people up. The girls show up in adorable pajamas, and Rentaru, dazzled, thinks they all look amazing. Kusuri and Shizuka, in high spirits, give him quick kisses, making him feel like he's in heaven. But Hana suddenly has a nosebleed at the sight, and Rentaru, worried, helps her up and walks her through the mansion. Laughing, Hana says she's too old to get that worked up. But Rentaru, smiling softly, says they can still have fun together. With a mischievous look, Hana admits she can't hold back her feelings anymore and invites him to her room. Meanwhile, the girls notice Rentaru and Hana have been gone too long. Nervous, Hikari fears something might be happening. Suddenly, they hear Hana scream and rush over, expecting the worst. But when they arrive, they find Rentaru dressed like a girl, wearing a wig and a frilly pink dress, while Hana squeals with excitement, declaring he looks adorable. Rentaru, red with embarrassment, faints on the spot. The girls panic, thinking he's unwell, but Hana, with a mischievous smile, calls Nano for help. She dresses Nano as a prince, and Hikari, laughing, says only a prince's kiss can awaken Princess Rentaru. With her usual seriousness, Nano kisses Rentaru, who wakes up groggy and dazed. The girls burst out laughing, while Rentaru, exhausted, sighs that he's had enough and heads off to take a bath. The girls, feeling mischievous, decide to spy on Rentaru while he's bathing, eager to catch a glimpse of him without clothes. Shizuka tries to stop them, but they hold her back playfully, telling her to wait. In the bathroom, Rentaru relaxes in the tub, unaware of the chaos brewing outside. Kusuri peers through the window but can't see anything because of the steam. She presses her face against the glass, and Rentaru, noticing a shadowy figure, panics, thinking it's a ghost. Frustrated, Kusuri reports to the others that the plan failed, and they quickly pull her back. Relieved that the haunting seems to be over, Rentaru hurries to finish his bath. Laughing, Hana suggests the girls try the attic, which connects to the bathroom, but they hesitate, afraid of rats. When they suddenly hear a noise, they scream, and Rentaru, still in the tub, grows convinced the place is haunted. Meanwhile, Shizuka, worried about Rentaru, fears the others will cause trouble. Still tied up, she realizes she can roll to free herself. Awkwardly, she tumbles down the stairs, gaining speed until her bindings come loose. She crashes straight into the bathroom, right where Rentaru is. Startled, he thinks it's another ghost but quickly recognizes her. As he gets up to help, his towel slips and Shizuka, mortified, faints instantly. Still in the bathroom with Shizuka unconscious, Rentaru is about to call for help when he spots the other girls peeking from the attic entrance, their faces full of guilt. He demands to know what they're doing there, and they awkwardly claim they were just playing hide-and-seek. Karan, however, hastily denies they were spying on him, only making it more obvious that they were. In a calm but firm tone, Rentaru scolds them, telling them they must respect his privacy. The girls, blushing with embarrassment, mumble apologies, and Kusuri, with a cheeky grin, promises not to spy again, at least for now. That night, Rentaru finds Hana in a quiet corner of the mansion, kneeling in silent prayer for Hikari and her late husband. Respectfully, he joins her and, with gentle curiosity, asks why she never sought another partner after Hikari's father passed away. With tearful eyes, Hana confesses that she still loves him deeply and feels she has no right to love another man. Yet looking at Rentaru, she admits, her voice trembling, that she's fallen in love with him, but believes it's wrong. With a tender smile, Rentaru takes her hands and tells her that it's possible to love more than one person as long as those feelings are genuine. Deeply moved, Hana asks him to kiss her, recalling how Hikari's father once told her to save her first kiss for a man who would never abandon her. Rentaru kisses her softly, and Hana, tears streaming down her cheeks, thinks of Hikari's father, overwhelmed by a bittersweet mix of love and longing. Later that night, everyone sleeps together in a large room, blankets spread across the floor. Still shaken from everything that happened, Hikari quietly approaches Rentaru in the middle of the night. Karani, half awake, watches curiously and asks what she's doing. Rentaru stirs, and Hikari, in a soft voice, says she just wants to sleep beside him, admitting she was scared she'd never get to be with him again. He kisses her forehead, promising that everything will be all right. Beaming, Hikari asks him to hold her until sunrise. Wrapping her in his arms, Rentaru watches her drift to sleep with a smile on her face. Hours later, he wakes to find Hikari and Karan kissing in their sleep, with Karan mumbling his name, clearly mistaking Hikari for him. He smiles fondly at the adorable scene and quietly gets up to use the bathroom. In the dark hallway, Rentaru encounters an ethereal figure, the spirit of Hikari's father, his expression a mix of sadness and anger. He accuses Rentaru of stealing Hana and Hikari from him. Unfazed, Rentaru calmly says this is the perfect time to talk. The spirit, surprised, asks why he isn't afraid. Rentaru answers that it's because Hana loves him, and because he believes Hikari's father was a good man. He vows, with unwavering sincerity, to make both Hana and Hikari happy. The spirit reveals he's been watching over them for 16 years, unable to move on. Grateful that Rentaru opened Hana's heart again, he says he can now rest in peace, knowing she's loved. A bright light envelops the spirit as he smiles, saying he has no regrets left. His soul fades away, finally at peace. The next day, Rentaru and the girls return to school. During morning assembly, everyone is stunned to learn that Hana has become the new student council president, ensuring she'll see Rentaru every day. During the break, he decides to visit her mansion, only to find she's not there. With a sudden intuition, he rushes to the school rooftop, where he finds Hana, Hikari, Karane, Shizuka, Kusuri, and Nano all waiting for him. With radiant smiles, the girls say in unison that they love him. Overcome with emotion, Rentaru joins them, promising to make every one of them happy. They embrace as the blue sky stretches above, their laughter carried away by the wind. And that's where this video ends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.